Hello, cyclocross friends, and welcome back to Crosshairs Television. This is our final event from Rochester Cyclocross, and it's the men's UCI C2 race. All eyes are on Cannondale Cyclocross world Stephen Hyde, who is looking for back-to-back victories on the weekend. And looking to prevent Hyde from doing just that are Alpha Bicycle Co. Groove Subaru's Gage Hecht, Aspire Racing's Jeremy Powers, Garneau Easton presented by Transitions Life Care's Jack Kisberth, Santa Cruz Donkey Labels Tobin Ortenblad, and Kona Maxxis Shimano's Kerry Werner. At the start, it's Hyde picking up where he left off 23 hours before with the early lead. Teammate Spencer Petrov is up there with him, along with Powers. At the early choke point, Hyde still leads with Petrov, Hecht, Powers, Kisberth, Hayden. A mass of bodies, bikes, and dust follow behind. A lap later at the Double Trouble feature, the leaders are the same with Hyde, Petrov, Hecht, and Powers up front. Hayden isn't far behind. Werner, Ortenblad, and Kisberth, who got caught out at the early choke point, have work to do to get back with the leaders. At the reconfigured for Sunday uphill off-camber, it's a youth revolt at the front as Petrov and Hecht drive the pace. Hyde and Powers mark the duo a few paces back. Hayden, Werner, and Ortenblad have also joined the front group. Looking as if he attached his aero bars from his TT bike, Hecht drives hard, with Hyde now in second. Powers, Hayden, and Werner are next in line. Petrov has dropped from second to the back of the train. Ortenblad fights to maintain contact. On the next lap, back at the off-camber, and Hyde is in control of the front. Werner has moved up to second. Powers and Hayden are third and fourth. After pushing the pace the lap before, Hecht has moved back to 5th, Ortenblad is 6th, and Petrov 7th. That group of 7 remains together as they enter the woods. On the run-up, there is no change to the leaders. Behind them, Jorben Van Tickle tries to catch the front group. He is followed by Cody Kaiser in 9th and Brandon Fix in 10th. In the woods, we get our first look at the log features included in Rochester's most technically challenging section. Behind the leaders, Fix has jumped 2 spots to 8th. Staying in the woods, Hyde is at the final off-camber before exiting the section. Hecht is back up to second with Werner and Powers behind. Petrov, Ortenblad, and Hayden continue in the first chase group. Fix and Van Tickle are not far behind. Back at the early choke point, and Powers has taken over at the front. Hyde is second, Hecht third, and Werner fourth. Ortenblad leads the next group with Hayden and Petrov. And Brandon Fix has also closed the gap and joined the back of that group. At Double Trouble, Hyde has taken the lead again. Watch as Powers and Hecht take advantage of the trackside tree to run the picket fence. With 2 World Cup events just weeks away, the top group wanted to push the pace as much as possible. There was a bit of an agreement to not play this tactically, but rather to go as hard as possible to prepare for the higher pace of the World Cups. With 2 laps to go, the leading 4 continued to push the pace. With a lap and a half to go, the leading 4 are back at the choke point with Powers still on the front. But just 3 minutes later, the pace of Powers and Hyde has begun to detach Werner and Hecht. We are now looking at a replay of what we witnessed 8 months ago at Cyclocross Nationals in Reno. Hyde takes the inside line and makes the pass at the planks. At the stairs, Hyde remains in front with Powers glued to his wheel. Werner has now put some space between himself and Hecht. Through the final turns, and the leading duo head to the finishing straight for the bell lap. The gaps between the top 4 remain static. The race for 5th begins to heat up as Fix, Petrov, and Haydet jockey for position. With a half lap to go, the unrelenting pace of Hyde has given him a few seconds lead over Powers. Not much real estate left for Powers to get it back. And there's no sprint on this day. Stephen Hyde keeps his lead and caps off Rochester Cyclocross with his 2nd win of the weekend. Powers shows he's still a contender, finishing 2nd. Kerry Werner slots into the 3rd spot. Gage Hecht takes 4th. Petrov wins the tight battle for 5th. And the ride of the day goes to Brandon Fix, fighting his way up the field to finish 6th.
Definitely faster than yesterday. We went hard today, like from the gun. It was hard from the gun, and we kept that pace up and kept pushing it. And I'd love to see the lap times. I know that we all pushed each other hard, very hard.
Strategically, what were you thinking? Was it were you just sort of biding your time? I mean, Powers went out there, led for a while. How did it play out? Just what was the game plan in your head going during the race?
The game plan for me was to go out as hard as I could and maintain that till I either exploded or won the race. I just needed we needed some World Cup prep. Like all 4 of those guys in that group were going to be at the World Cup. I don't know about Gage, but 3 of us are going to be at the World Cup. So, and that's coming up pretty fast. So if we don't start pedaling like we mean it, we're not going to have a good presence there. So it's time to kind of put the big kid pants on and start racing like we really, really, really want to do it.
When, what we've seen historically at this race, and you've been involved in a few of them, is where you come off that last corner and then it's a sprint for home.
Yeah.
Were you trying to avoid that today, or what was the move going into the last lap?
Not necessarily trying to avoid it. I just wanted to see what was going to happen if we all went in 100%. And it showed, like, it was a big group. We were changing up. Guys were coming off, coming back, coming off, and we never let up. And it took a little bit of encouragement out of all of us too. I think there was some like back patting, going like, "Come on, man, let's do this, like go hard." And we all needed it. Great kick in the pants, and it just worked out like it did. You go hard like that. If all of us are gonna go kind of full gas the whole time, then it's just gonna be a race of attrition, and whoever's gonna be left. If it did come down to a sprint, we were just going to have to do it with what gas we had left in the tank.
World Cup races coming up.
Yeah.
Stephen Hyde is disappointed from the World Cup if?
I don't break top 10s.
Thank you.
Yeah.